Hi, I'm Caleb, and I am going to take a break from working on the house and the apartment above the garage. I need a little inspiration and distraction from the house for a little bit, so today I'm going to be doing a type of painting that I've done a little bit before, not on here, and it's called an acrylic paint pour. It's fairly straightforward, but I'm going to try to combine another technique into it where I paint something first, tape that, do the acrylic pour, and then remove the tape while the acrylic pour portion of the paint is still wet. I'm going really nostalgic today, so gonna do a Charmander, and then the pour portion is going to be the colors that are associated with Charmander. So I've tried this once before. You can see kind of a quick graphic of what that looked like. It was a sugar skull, I think is what they're called, and it was with a black and white background. I thought it turned out really cool. So I think this is taking it up one more level. So I'm a super novice painter, and I'm trying things that I've never done before and just hoping that they work, because that to me is what making is about. And it's trying new things and seeing if it works, and if it doesn't, I'm sure I'll be told all of the reasons why it didn't work, which is a learning opportunity. So let's get started. I originally planned on painting Charmander with brushes, but quickly realized that that was going to be an absolute disaster. So I pivoted to something that I had seen other people doing on YouTube, which was making multi-layer stencils. What I mean when I say multi-layer stencil is basically you take the individual color components of a picture and break them into their unique parts. So I did that using a free photo editor called GIMP. If you're interested in how I did that, let me know below in the comments and I can make a tutorial on it. Once I was done with the photo editing portion, I was left with the different colors of Charmander, isolated into their own distinct parts. I could then print and cut out the stencil to spray paint onto my canvas. I originally planned on doing this using a laser cutter, which would vastly expedite the process, but the one I have access to is broken at the moment, so I was left doing this the old-fashioned way with my small box cutter. Once I had all the stencils cut out, I could basically work my way through each of the individual colors, painting them one on top of the other, until eventually I had what looked like a decent Charmander. Just finished the red layer so we can see what it looks like. So the first thing that we need to do is prepare our pouring medium. And when I say pouring medium, we need something that's going to reduce the consistency of the acrylic paint, because acrylic paint on its own isn't going to flow over the canvas. So you can buy pouring medium, or you can do kind of the poor man's method, which is mine, and that is a mixture of Elmer's glue and water. So that's what I've got today. I'm almost out of my pouring medium, you can see. So I'm going to prepare that before I do it. So the pouring medium that I've used, I found a video online that showed me how to do this technique, and I'll link it below. But it is 65% glue to 35% water. So to keep that easy, I'm just going to make this 100 grams at a time and just kind of fill up my bottle to get there. So let's make ourselves some pouring medium. And if you get too much, don't worry, because you can always just add water to the correct ratio and it's going to be fine. So basically, since I'm making this in a 100 gram increment, I can basically take it from the 65 grams on up to 100 and I'll be fine. So we've got it all full. Pouring medium's good. Now we're going to go ahead and mix our paints with the medium themselves. So that's basically a 50-50 ratio. So however many grams or ounces of paint you want to use an equal amount of pouring medium. So what I like to do before I go ahead and do my pour is try to figure out approximately how much I need. So a rough rule of thumb is for every 25 square inches of canvas or whatever medium you have, you want to use about 1 ounce of paint. So for my canvas, which is 20 by 16, it's going to be about 12.8 ounces or approximately 365 grams. So we're going to mix that up with all of the different paints I have. So I have a metallic red, a color shifting red, a bright yellow, a metallic yellow, and then orange is going to kind of be the base for all of them. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mix all of those with the pouring medium to kind of the amounts that I want to have the ratio that I need for this canvas. All right, here we go. I am terrified because I have spent a lot of time on this already, and if this goes bad, I'm going to be a little sad. But can't find out unless you do it, right? So like I said, I'm just going to pour a little bit of this in the corners just to make sure as I'm spreading all my stuff out that it gets done there. I may add just a touch of it into, because I think the really thin black lines actually look really, really cool. So what I'm basically going to do is I'll pour a little orange and then just cycle through my colors. Here's what it looks like. Still wet. It's definitely interesting. I did get a little muddy in a couple areas, so you can kind of see where the color started mixing, which just makes it that like kind of brownish color. All right, so painting has been drying for about 24 hours. I can tell it's still wet in some spots, but I think we're getting close to where I want to attempt to take off the tape. So I'm gonna give it a try real quick, and if it seems like it's still too wet, I'll wait until tomorrow morning and hope that we're good there. So here goes. Hopefully this doesn't ruin the entire thing and all of the work that I've done. Alright, so this is the final product of the multi-layer stencil acrylic paint pour. I am thrilled with how this turned out. There's definitely some flaws in it. There's some ripping around kind of the outline of the Charmander body, and I think that was just the acrylic was already getting too dry. So I had a lot. I was kind of balancing between it being wet enough to do it, but also dry enough that it wasn't going to mess up the paint surrounding the Charmander. Overall, still super pleased though. The color scheme wasn't really what I planned when I was going into this. Luckily, it still turned out cool. I think kind of the metallic looks kind of in that vein of the original holographic Pokemon cards. So super pleased with that. I didn't keep a great track of how much time or money this one cost. If that's something you would like to see kind of in more making or artistic projects moving forward, let me know, because I can do a better job of keeping track of those things. If you did enjoy this video, I would love if you liked it. I plan on doing more of these, maybe even a full set kind of in the original starting Pokemon. I think that would be really cool. So subscribe if that's something you're interested in. I do a lot of other kind of making, home remodel, all of the things in that vein. So I appreciate you watching this video, and I will catch you next time.